What's going on, everyone? This is GC Performance here, back with another video. Today I have for you guys the 2020 Cervelo S5 frame set. Did a custom build with some DT Swiss wheels. It's a size 54. It weighs in at 17 pounds, 15 ounces, right at 18 pounds, and 8.13 kilos. Stay tuned after the video where you hear a free body sound test on those DT Swiss wheels. Thank you guys. Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is GC Performance here, back with another video. Today I have for you guys the Cervelo S5. This is a 2020 model. This was a frame set build up. So as you guys can see, the components are kind of mismatched on here. The customer bought the frame set and then put the components on himself. But this is my first time actually getting my hands on the Cervelo series. I always want to kind of get this bike on the channel just because of the fact that this new integration wave they had with the handlebar and stem system. Kind of want to talk to it about the other bikes that it compares to, like the Venge and the Madone. And then I'll kind of just show off the details on this bike. The price on it, I don't really know off the top of my head because of the fact that the customer did do a custom build on it. So I know the frame is around 4,500, I want to say, and that's like their top tier frame that they make. And then component wise, just, you know, he put the DT Swiss wheels on there, he put the Ultegra Di2, he put a rotor crank power meter on there, which when you think of Cervelo, you always think of rotor just because the pro teams ride that. So I think he did a really good job with the build. But we'll go ahead and talk about what the bike came with, and then my final thoughts on the frame, the integration, this like little dual crown system going on, you know, similar to like a mountain bike system, and pros and cons to this bike. But it is, I'm a big fan of it. A lot of people at first might not like the look of it just because it's so different from the old classic styles, but I'm a big fan of innovation. I like moving forward. I like to see companies strive for newer things. I think this cockpit's really cool. In terms of building, it's a little bit more of a pain in the butt, but it's not too bad, you know. For the consumer, it doesn't really make a difference. I do think that if you do buy this bike, you have to ride it slammed. I know they make options to go higher on there, and it just looks kind of goofy like that. If you're riding this bike, you have to ride it slammed. That's the only way to really ride the thing because it looks so clean. But there is options to raise it if you like. So, getting into the bike, they have their integrated proprietary Cervelo handlebar stem system. Kind of goes off in a V system. The brake lines are ran through here separately, so we got a brake line through here for the rear, a brake line through here for the front. They do have an integrated mount system that goes down here and it comes with the bike, so you just go ahead and put that on there. The mount will go out there for the Garmin. And then plus the Di2 wiring goes through here. There's a junction box right here where you would charge it at. So there is some wiring and housing going inside there. If you do buy this bike mechanical, I can see it being a little bit of a nightmare to run, but again, it's not the end of the world. But this is like their patented, it looks like a freaking a fighter jet, which looks really cool. I think it's a badass look. But complaints to it is that it's extremely stiff in the front, vertical. So there's two different types of stiffness I want to talk about. Lateral stiffness, when you're putting on power on the bike, you don't want the bike swaying back and forth. You want a stiff, lateral, stiff bike. But vertical stiffness, vertical compliancy, how much the bike absorbs bumps, how is it compliant. A lot of times, aero bikes like these, very stiff aero bikes like this, the Venge, the Madone, the Cannondale, they are very stiff and aerodynamic, but it does pay a toll on the rider's body. So the rider does have to know that. It's something that you know, I mean, obviously pro riders are riding it, people are riding it for miles and miles, you get used to it, but it will be a different feel from like a Roubaix or a Tarmac or the P3 that Cervelo offers. You know, this will be definitely the more stiffer of the bikes, so keep that in mind. Wheels on here, we have the DT Swiss AR Arc 1450s, so like a mid-range depth. These will be similar to like a CLX 50 wheel set. And then you have their DT Swiss die-cut hubs in there. I don't know exactly which hubs those are on there, but I believe they are non-ceramic bearings. You have your rat rod system in here. I hate this by Cervelo. A lot of people do like it, but it's not a fan for me. The through axle is proprietary. If you look on the side, there's like almost like a cross right there. The way the thing goes in and out, you just have to kind of dial in. It's not that bad, but they get stuck after a while. But you know, if you have a Cervelo, you know. If you don't worry about it. Like I was mentioning, a dual crown fork before, like I was saying, they have a similar to like a mountain bike where they have a top crown and a bottom crown, and this kind of goes through here. What that does, it makes the bike extremely stiff up front. You're getting 2 contact points now for this fork, so it's going to be a lot more stiff up front for sprinting, but you'll feel also in the handlebar section as well. So the customer with Ultegra Di2 Shifters, it is Di2, it is a hydraulic disc brake on here, and also we have the rotor crank. This is a rotor 3D crank right here. And then we equipped it with a power meter, a rotor power meter crank, and he has on here a 130 53 by 39 BCD crank with the 4 string rings on there. And then the front derailleur is going to be an Ultegra Di2 derailleur, and Ultegra rear derailleur Di2, and then the cassette is it looks like 1128. The customer did buy this bike off of Pro's Closet, so if you're wondering where he got it at, that's it. These bikes are extremely hard to find right now, so if you are in the market for looking for one, if you find one, I recommend jumping on it. The design's really cool. It's like a matte carbon to a gloss carbon. You're seeing that more and more. Matte carbon up here. You have those kind of Cervelo zebra stripes right there, like in a gray color. A white logo, and then it goes down to a gloss carbon right there. You have 3 different positions for water bottles, so if you do want to position the water bottle a little bit differently, you can. And same for the rear, only has a 1 position. They said that it is very tough, although the bottom bracket is very thick, girthy, and very stiff. There's not a lot of room for a seat post junction box up here. But you know, they said that back here it doesn't feel as quite stiff in the rear as it does in the front. So people are saying when you're pedaling, although this is beefy, the lack of bottom seat post or seat tube where you get that thickness right here, it feels almost not as responsive or kind of loose, they're saying. But it's still a really high-end performance bike, but that's just what the customer said. You do have a 3D crank arm on the back right here, and then you got your Cervelo rat rod, again, the through axle on the rear. You have Shimano Ultegra disc brakes, center lock. You have the Ultegra flat mount, and then the rear a DT Swiss wheel as well, a 1450. I believe you're gonna hear a free body sound test, but it sounds just like an 18 tooth from there. You have a proprietary Cervelo seat post right here, adjustments right here. It's gonna be a 4mm, and then we have a Prologo saddle on top of here, just customer's choice of preference. But yes, my opinion on this bike, between the Venge, between the Madone, there's a bunch of different bikes out there. I think the looks and the aesthetics of this bike alone will sell this bike to people who like it. If you want a more traditional looking bike, this might not be the model for you, but with the integration, the different play arounds with the fork, how it's handled, the handlebar setup, I think it looks absolutely amazing. So I don't think you can go wrong with a Cervelo. I just know that people said that the vertical stiffness on it is kind of harsh, but you're expecting that when you're looking at an aerodynamic road bike, especially like a Cannondale, especially like a Venge, the Madone, the Venge, the Super Sex. You're always gonna get that, so keep that in mind. But anyways, all in all, I think this bike looks absolutely amazing. Let me know if you guys want more videos on this bike and comparison videos. I think it looks absolutely beautiful, and thank you guys so much. Stay tuned to after the video where you guys will hear the free body sound test. All right, guys, we got here the DT Swiss 1450 carbon fiber wheel set. Here comes the free body sound test for you. I believe it's an 18 tooth ratchet inside here as well. That is. All right, guys, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.